Do you think that somebody can become a famous master of a skill when they've had to deal with death and mental illness in the family? This man did. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope all of you are well. My name is Bryce Harrison. Today I will be discussing Edvard Munch. First, I will cover his early life, then his art career, and finally his influence on the art world. With that said, let's begin. Edvard Munch had a very difficult early life. I'll be using information from Munch Museum to elaborate. However, first, let's start at the beginning. Edvard Munch was born in a small town called Adelsbrück, located in Loten municipality, Norway. He was born in 1863. It's a very tragic family story, as I said. His mother died of tuberculosis in 1868 when Edvard Munch was only 5 years old. His sister later died from the same affliction in 1877. His father faced his own challenges. I'll be using information from the art story to explain. His father suffered from mental illnesses ranging from depression to visions that his family's illness was a punishment from God. He was a military medical officer, which meant that his family moved frequently and were relatively poor. Both of these issues were compounded by the fact that he was a single parent, although he was assisted in raising his children by his sister-in-law. Edvard Munch suffered from chronic asthmatic bronchitis as well as a weak immune system. The deaths in his family, his father's mental illness, and his own physical ailments affected his outlook on life. He began to view his life as being ruled by the twin black angels of disease and insanity. Now that we have covered Edvard Munch's early life, we can discuss his art career. He had a very long and successful art career lasting over 40 years. I'll be using information from the Encyclopedia of World Biography to explain. Munch started studying art in 1880 and he joined the realist circle. He was later influenced by French post-impressionists. And finally, after the death of his father in 1889, after suffering a spiritual crisis, he began to view his art as symbolism. Munch's art began to gain fame. In 1892, he showcased his art in the Berlin Artists Association. It was taken down due to being viewed as scandalous. However, Munch was able to use this to sell many paintings. Later, in 1894, Munch began creating prints of his paintings to make them more accessible. Things would not stay so favorable for Munch, however. In 1889, after the death of his father, he began working on The Phase of Life, a series of 22 paintings, through the names of which you can surmise his mental state. Examples are melancholy, despair, anxiety, and the scream. In 1908, after suffering a nervous breakdown, Munch checked himself into a sanitarium, where he would remain for 1 year before returning home, where he would live the rest of his life in solitude, never marrying. In 1944, Munch passed away. At the time, he had over 1,000 paintings, 4,000 drawings, and 15,000 prints in his house. His most famous pieces include The Scream, Madonna, and Ashes. I'll now talk about his influence on the art world. To do so, I'll use information from the art story. After Munch's death, he donated his paintings to the country of Norway, where eventually a museum was built specifically for them. His specific style was not used by many other artists. However, his themes were very inspirational. His painting, his feelings, in intense colors, in a semi-abstract manner, pioneered the German Expressionist movement. And his style of contrasting colors and semi-abstract human caricatures would, quote, prove enduring, expressive, and stylistic hallmarks of expressism, positivism, symbolism, and even surrealism. Today I discussed Edvard Munch, covered his early life, then his art career, and finally his influence on the art community. In conclusion, Munch did not live an easy life. However, by channeling his negative emotions into his artwork, he was able to create beautiful and impactful masterpieces. I hope you have found this presentation to be informative and enjoyable. Thank you for listening.